Ahoy, landlubbers, it's me, your valiant Captain Vasco, and welcome back to the Dread Yacht's dreaded game room. We're back here by the vault, where last time we opened a tech door with our friend Meta Ridley, and this time, by beating the last level, we've unlocked an earth door, which holds yet more treasure for us and our Skylander friends. So real quick, let's pick up some of that. Ooh, lots of gems, lots of gems. Now, I'm gonna give most of this today to Flint, but Hinata's reasonably close to getting an upgrade. A lot of our characters, after our binge of upgrades last time, aren't very close, but Hinata, she is, for whatever reason. Oh, that was a lot. Well, she gets that much treasure, as it turns out. And the rest will go to our dear friend Flint.
It's crush hour.
Now, between picking up random treasure on the deck and picking up that gem upstairs, which again, I think I can give you guys credit for knowing where that is after showing it a couple of times.
As you look out your window, you'll see the next stop on this crazy adventure. Talk to me when you want to land.
As I was saying, I've managed to get enough gold to get an upgrade for Laboon as well, but for the moment, we do have another order of business that I would like to take care of, which involves calling on the help of one of our guardian friends. So I think I've mentioned before that our shop here on the Dread Yacht contains a very cheap Luck-O-Tron bulb, and I think that we'll be buying this to help our cause. Now I'm using the gold that one of our Guardians picked up partially in a level from this game, but I would just rather not impede the progress of our other heroes. So, yeah, we're gonna do it that way. I think we have enough legitimate ways to get gold that we can give ourselves credit for being able to get 200 if we really needed it. But for the time being, let's go get some upgrades, and then we'll decide on how to use our newfound bulb. I think that makes the most sense. Oh, by the way, now here in the sort of downstairs lobby of our tower on the ship with the crow's nest in it, we've got a creepy Wilikin baby. So yeah, we got that bonus of sorts. Last time we of course went to the Wilikin village, visited their world, and they gave us this canon mini game. We'll continue to get more new mini games downstairs for the rest of the game, but we'll touch on that more when we can actually show them off, assuming we've got time for that. There's a whole lot going on in this game. I don't know if you've noticed. Yes, time for some upgrades. Alright, so Laboon can get the Whalest Chomp, which, again, is sort of like a damage increase. A little bit hard to show off. But I was looking at his Chomp before. Yeah, I don't really notice a difference there. I think it makes a louder sound effect, if anything. But there you go. That's one of our upgrades today. Secondly,
any last wishes?
We have Hinata, who again, you know, if you guys have feelings about how these upgrade paths should go, particularly with characters like her, she's got her magic ranged attacks, which are kind of hard to aim, and then her sword attacks, which are kind of uninspired in their range. We're going to get another increased damage ability, the Abra-Ca-Stab-Bra, which I think is a pretty clever name.
My power grows.
So I think that changes the appearance of her blades. That one I did not think to actually check ahead of time. Perhaps I can leave an annotation or something for you to fill you in on that. But again, it's not tremendously different, just does more damage when you use these blade attacks. Lastly, for today, we've got Pegasus, who, while he's a little bit behind in levels, he's doing pretty well on gold for the moment, and he can afford himself an upgrade. In fact, I think he can afford 2 at the moment. But, I do like the increased laser rate of fire. Yeah, let's just go with that for today, I think. I feel like the trick with with Eyebrawl in general is that, like, his, like, ability to separate into two parts is super sweet, but there are a couple of components that you need to buy and upgrade in order for that to be a viable strategy, because he is pretty vulnerable when his suit of armor is left unattended, because that's where all the HP is at. Alright, well, you know, I never noticed that this was Callie's room. I wonder why the Luck-O-Tron's in here. That's interesting. Alright, here's the Luck-O-Tron. We haven't seen it in a while, but now that we have a new bulb for it, we can add a second thing. We can do experience, health, power. I think I'm going to go with wealth because it's going to be difficult to upgrade all of my Skylanders before the end of the game. So we could use a little help in that department. You might be able to guess that today we will find a lucky wheel of power based on the fact it's the only one we don't have two of. And you would be correct. So yeah, I think, oh, I accidentally summoned some eyeballs, or tried to. I guess the Luck-O-Tron stopped me. Anyway, I think we're just about set to head off to the next level, and it's not exactly my favorite. So let's just try and get it done, shall we?
Hey, ready to drop in on these trolls and take down that force field?
I am, in fact, Flynn.
Alright, let's do this. And, hope that the stories of those cannons are greatly exaggerated. Well, this doesn't look so bad. No one's even defending this place.
You spoke a little too soon, my friend.
Losers! You think these people have enough cannons?
Yeah. These trolls sure take their jobs seriously. Getting to the shield generator isn't going to be easy. If you can distract the guards, I'll go around back.
That sounds like you could use a big, strong, and yes, extremely attractive bodyguard. How could I say no? Boom!
Fine. But I move quickly, so stay close. I'll meet you up ahead, okay?
Hey, wait up!
It didn't take long for him to disappoint Callie this time, did it? Anyway, welcome to Troll Home Security.
Oh, that Callie. I guess she's playing hard to get here, or at least hard to find. See if you can grab something to take down this wall.
Oh, don't worry, Flynn. We'll find her soon. Now, this wall, as you can tell by the symbols on the ground, can be broken by a giant. But I'm going to go ahead and show off the way that you do it if you don't have a giant. One, because I like showing off the ways to do everything, just in case, you know. I want this to be an informative Let's Play type situation. Secondly, wow, that made a big explosion. I think I accidentally broke the wall there. That's fine. I mean, I think you guys get the point because, well, in here, we gotta beat these two trolls, which opens up that monster gate, which leads us to a couple of neat things. I'm gonna collect all this treasure, because again, could use it. Firstly, here's this bomb. This is the thing that used to break the wall if you don't happen to have a giant handy, which, you know, seems a little odd. I do question how it is that you end up playing this game without any giants, but I'm sure it's possible. You could get the game from a friend or something and only have your Skylanders from the first game. That would do it. You can use the bomb also down here if you have a quick Skylander. Most giants aren't quick enough for that. However, they do have giant strength, which lets you break through that wall. I haven't gotten a new hat for Pegasus since, like, level 2 or something. So we'll go ahead and give him this festive sombrero. Increases critical hit and armor. Pretty decent amounts.
Dare I say, eye candy?
Ah, look at that. He's all suited out for the Day of the Dead or something. I don't actually know terribly much about Mexican culture, but the sombrero is a nice addition to our Skylander team. So we've cleared out everything from in here, including the collectibles, so let's progress with the level a little bit. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I broke that wall when I threw that Kaos statue. But that's okay. Oh look, I killed them with the power of levels. Hey, can I attack you guys doing this? Apparently I can. Oh, I fell down. Oh, this is going not as well as I wanted. Yeah, probably against these grenade guys, it's not a great idea to leave your body a non-so-moving target. Gonna make use of my rapid-fire laser. Oh, I didn't actually show this off before, did I? Yeah, it changes the rate of fire of the laser, so it allows you to press the button rapidly to fire rapidly, whereas before you were fairly limited in it. I forget if there's one more speed upgrade for this. I feel like there might be. I can't remember off the top of my head. You know, it's been so well since I originally upgraded the Skylanders when playing through this game for the first time. Oh, alright. So that looked a little weird, but what I was doing there is using that bounce pad to jump inside of the chimney. I'll show it off again in a second because that was not as clear as I would have liked it to be. Inside there's a pile of treasures, some simple bad guys, and the Luck-O-Tron Wheel of Power. So we're well on our way. We'll be picking up a lot of things pretty quickly. And in fact, there aren't a lot of collectibles close to the end of the levels, so it's pretty rapid fire at the start here. Come on, Chompies. You're no big deal. Alright, so we'll bounce back up because it lets us off down there. Now what you do to get in there is use this bounce pad and head off to the left where that smokestack is. And that gets you the lucky wheel, which, you know, if you're inclined to use power over the other types, I think that's a pretty good choice. Now, here's a tricky one to find. I remember that the first time I was playing through this level, I could see the winged sapphire poking up over that ledge, and so I knew it was there, like, right away. This time, however, I did not notice it doing that. Maybe it bobs up and down and is sometimes visible, but either way, you know, right after the chimney bit, there's a ledge you'll want to jump down, because winged sapphires are always good, assuming you're planning on upgrading your Skylanders, and I'm not entirely sure why you wouldn't be planning on doing that.
Don't worry, Callie. We're here. You're safe now.
Yeah. What a relief. Just hit the switch to trigger my explosives when you're ready. I'll try to keep Brain Trust here out of trouble.
Alright, so here's something interesting I suppose we could show off. So there's 2 points in this level where Callie will set up some dynamite to help us get through something. She sets up one of these plunger doos, which we could use to blow it up, or you just punch the wall, and then the dynamite just explodes, which I always thought was funny. Riveter. We've met him in Skystones, but so far we had not encountered him in the game proper. How'd you get over here? I didn't even notice you, little troll jerk. There's definitely a dude just like secretly hiding behind that bomb, which is weird. Come on, get him. Yeah, there we go. There we go. So yeah, I'm spending a little bit of extra time today with Pegasus because he was so far behind in levels. But I think once we're clear of this pasture, we'll give him a rest. Assuming he survives that long. He is taking a little bit of a beating. And the Chompy-tron is not an enemy to be taken lightly. So, let's see how this plays out. Ooh, is that going to explode and hit him? No, it's not. So basically the way this guy works, I don't think we've seen him yet, right? The way he works is that he fires Chompies out of... Wow, he's like punching me from behind somehow. So yeah, we'll give our friend a little bit of a rest early. Other characters who could use some levels include Rush. I seriously don't know how he was punching me with like his elbows, because it doesn't actually make any sense. Oh, we're in a fire area and everything. We get some extra experience. Like the sound of that. So yeah, this guy, he's got 2 like cannon arms from which he can shoot a stream of Chompies, which are kind of jerks. And I don't think that all of the Chompies will actually land and become Chompy enemies to fight you, but most of them will. So it's something to watch out for. They can gang up on you because it shoots a lot of them.
We made short work of those trolls, didn't we?
Good job. Now see if you can open these gates.
Well, you know, I kind of wish that we didn't have to, but in this instance, we will. It's a lock puzzle. You know how much I love these by now, guys. Alright, check this one out. Start with left, then right 2 times, then left 7 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and finally 7. Now inside we'll find some more things we can blow up for treasure, which is nice. None of these underground bombs, which, for your information, if you attack these enough, they will eventually start sparking and explode. You can use those against enemies. That one you can't really do, so I'm not sure why it's there. Here we also find a button that lets us progress further into the level. So by the way, this is Troll Home Security. The idea of this place is that it's sort of a last line of defense for Kaos's castle, run by his troll minions. They have like a shield thing in place that protects his castle from invaders. We're hoping to take that down so we can get inside. It was mentioned briefly in the last level with the Wilikin, because they are well informed on matters of chaos. So here we've got a bunch of trolls who are kind of jerks. They are kind of huge jerks. It's good to have an enemy that, or a Skylander rather, that can attack over the hill. Someone like Bomberman that I was using in the last game, because these guys really set themselves up in a position where they're able to like cheaply attack you and you can't attack them back. But if you have a Skylander who can work around that, it's pretty helpful. Oh. You gotta watch out for Riveter and the Grenade Generals. Both of those guys are pretty tough. They deal a lot of damage with their explosives and their rapid-fire rivet shots. I'm not exactly sure what to call those. So over here, before we saw some treasure, I'm gonna pick that up. Now we're gonna backtrack for just a second. Had to deal with those enemies because they were threatening to clear out another Skylander. This is a relatively tough level, I would say. It's one of the reasons it's not my favorite. Also, there's quite a lot of lock puzzles, and that always contributes to me not particularly liking a level. So, I'm going to push this block in place. Don't really have to, we can use the corner glitch, but just wanted to make it clear what we were doing here, I guess. And we're making a bridge across this way. Camera change almost made me fall off. That would have been a little bit annoying, to be honest. And here's one of those great big giant chains. So let's switch to a giant so that we can make use of it. Let's use Hinata.
Any last wishes?
Don't remember if we've actually pulled a giant chain with her. The animations for most of these giants pulling are pretty straightforward. I don't think anyone really makes different use of anything. But still, it's sort of nice to show off every Skylander's capabilities. So, here we have a treasure chest, which we'll go ahead and take.
Riches.
Pretty nice amount of treasure. Now, my understanding, I'm not sure I've actually talked about this, is that when you use the Lucky Wheel of Wealth, it increases the rate at which you'll see those red exclamation points pop up when you pick treasure, because I don't think that wealth works the same way as like the health lucky wheel. By the way, there's a little secret ledge over here as well, similar to the one where we found the winged sapphire. So let's deal with that real quick. It leads to 2 secret caves, not 1 but 2, and each one has a collectible for us. So first, let's take out all these fire chompies, and then make quick work of these grenade generals. Terrific. There's some cheese. I suppose we could give that to one of our injured characters, assuming that we might want to use them again later. How about Pegasus?
I've got my eye on you.
Yeah, he's not in great shape, so I feel pretty good about letting him heal up a touch. In fact, there's even more cheese and some Chinese leftovers in this cave. Let's pick up all of that. But, in the meantime, we've got this story scroll. Let's see what it has to say. Those wacky Archeans. Yep, let's read all about them.
While not known for their sense of humor, Archeans did enjoy playing the occasional prank, particularly in their secret Archean Vault of Secrets. The prank involved hiding a teleporter under things like pottery and then asking someone to go grab said piece of pottery. The unsuspecting target was suddenly teleported away, giving the prankster the closest thing Archeans have to a laugh.
Now again, this refers to something that we've already done. Close to the end of the Secret Vault of Secrets, there was a couple of pots under which was a teleporter leading us to, I believe it was a legendary treasure? Paint job, I think? But yeah, in any case, it led to a secret collectible, and most, if not all of the scrolls, deal with that sort of thing. So that's what that's about. So that's one cave down. Don't forget, though, that there's a second one. When I first came here, I was confused. I thought that maybe one cave led to the other. There's like an in and an out or something. But no, each one is actually its own cave. Here, we've got a lock puzzle. Now, this one is, of course, optional. But for us, it won't be. So it starts with 2 rights. Then a left. Then another right. And 2 lefts. 1 and 2. Then we got 3 rights. 1, 2, 3, and 4 lefts. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 2 rights. 1, 2, which drops us on the final lock thingy. I don't know exactly what those are supposed to represent, but I know they unlock the lock.
Another success.
Got ourselves a treasure chest. We have plenty of Skylanders who could use it. I'm not sure who needs it the most. I'm gonna say... How about Yoshi? Yoshi still has literally 1 gold from our last encounter with Persephone's shop, where he got the faster vines upgrade. So since he has almost no gold, let's give him some. But yeah, as I started talking about... I think those red exclamation points are the things that are actually affected by the Lucky Wheel, because I think the red exclamation point means that you get, like, some bonus amount of treasure when you pick that up. So that happens more often when you put in the Lucky Wheel of Wealth, and that's, you don't actually pick up more pieces of treasure. The treasure's just worth more sometimes.
Nice work! We're gonna need to find something to destroy that cannon. Looks like they've left their artillery system on. I bet a giant could pick up those big shells.
One could, yes, but again, we're going to show off the way to do this if you don't have a giant, even though it involves another lock puzzle. So here we got right 2 times, 1, 2. Then left 6 times, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then finally 1 right. Drop us on the last one yet again. Breaks that open, gives us some more treasure, which is nice. And then here's this bomb. We can use this bomb to blow up the cannon that they were talking about before, or you can pick up that artillery. Honestly, I find the artillery with the giants fairly tricky, because they move so slowly that the cannon usually gets a shot off on them. It's kind of hard to dodge. Here's our formal introduction to the Inhuman Shield as an enemy, again instead of a Skystone. I guess this level introduces a couple of characters who we've already seen as Skystones, but not as real characters. So the real trick of this is that you get like a wave of shield guys coming up at you that you can't attack directly, and then behind them, the grenade generals are attacking with their ranged explosives that do a fair amount of damage. And by a fair amount, I mean a lot of damage. Not like instant KO amount, but, you know, the way this is set up, they could easily get a couple of bombs off on you, and that could KO you pretty quickly. Right, so behind this tower is a point of interest for those of you who like Skystones like I do. Another optional Skystones game with another returning pirate friend of ours. Let's talk with him real quick.
So the good word is you've become quite the Skystones player, have you? Well, how about a rematch then?
Alright, now I'm going to say this real quick is that I've decided, since I don't really have a ton in the way of useful commentary, other than like really basic strategy that I try and walk through out loud while playing these Skystone games, I think I'm going to try something a little different today. maybe speed up the footage and make notes of interesting things, or if I make a mistake that you could learn from, something along those lines. But I think I'm still going to show the Skystones, just not going to bother talking about it so much. And it'll be a little bit quicker this way too, going forward. So we'll try it. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you on the other side of this game of Skystones.
Excellent! I think you'll have a tougher time beating the likes of me twice.
Stone collected.
Well, as I'm sure you could tell, that game didn't go exactly as well as I would have liked, but we still managed to pull it through there. A lot of these early optional enemies are, not the hardest in the world, so long as you have some idea of how the game works and the strategy you want to employ.
Well, you beat me again, you did. Kudos to you.
One of the things I wish that they would change about Skystones, if they were planning on continuing it in the future, which I honestly don't know if they are. Let's go ahead and switch to Laboon, because we got something that we'll need to take care of in just a minute. But I would like it if you could, like, save a set of Skystones, because, like, I know you can manually go in and change what Skystones you have, but, it doesn't really remember them. It constantly just defaults to what it thinks is the best set. And, that's nice for someone who doesn't particularly care about Skystones and only wants to play it when they have to, that sort of thing. And that's fine, of course. But, someone who's interested in it, I feel like you should be able to, like, choose a strategy.
Oh, success!
Because, you could have, got a water area here, by the way, which we're about to unlock with Laboon's help. We've got a little fish man here. All he's going to tell us is that he lost his hat in here, because everyone outside an elemental gate always tells you when there's a hat inside. Didn't notice this when I was first playing the game, but I find it odd. I'm not sure exactly why I find it so odd, but I do. Got a little bit of a laser puzzle here. Let's go ahead and try and solve that, but we're going to do it in a very particular way. Gonna push this block all the way up here, I think, and then gonna push it over. Now, there's a much simpler way of doing moving these stones out of the way, but it involves moving them sort of back and forth, out of position from where they start, and then back to where they began. But we're gonna want this block here. I don't know if you can tell, but behind that waterfall is a cave, and in that cave is something that we're going to want. Now, again, the normal way, or the quick way to do this, is to push the blocks out of the way, then push them back where we started. So we'll push that one back where it started, then move this laser into place to open that gate.
Turning the tide!
Or I suppose it moves the blade and we enter this gate from the wrong side. If you'll notice, there's a monster gate there, but it's facing the other direction. There aren't any monsters here, so obviously we can't open it from this side, even if the little shield icon was facing us, the way you would expect. But I was saying about, made that a little awkward. I thought I could beat that. Instead, I just made the game act really weird for a second. Yeah. Some more boxes with treasure. We got a gate. Inside is legendary treasure. Nice. Now, how do we get it, strange
Hey,
friend?
Skylander! Wanna play me at Skystones?
Gurglefin.
It sure beats Go Fish, I'll tell you that.
Ain't nothing wrong with Go Fish. It's a nice game. But, we found ourselves another quick game of Skystones, and once again we'll be doing the new method that we're trying today to speed up this episode a bit. So I'll see you on the other side of that, and I'll finish talking about Skystones.
Fantastic! Here we go!
Stone
collected.
Now, contrary to the last game, I think that one went much better than expected, and in fact, very well
Hey,
overall.
are you sure you didn't cheat? Dare I say that something's fishy here?
Look, fishy friend, if something's fishy, you should probably just take a bath. I think that's what you're smelling. Although I wonder, if a fish takes a bath, does it smell less fishy? It spends so much time in the water, I'm not sure that it would make a difference.
Treasures of the sea!
Anyway, now that we've gotten some treasures of the sea, I always love, like, I love Laboon to death, but the voice acting for this character is just goofy. I can't help but, like, just chuckle every time I hear any one of his lines, because they're just delivered so strangely. He sounds, I don't know exactly how to describe it. He sounds very strained in a hilarious fashion. Alright, so we're gonna like walk around this this fan blade thing that we got working by doing that laser puzzle previously, pick up some treasure, and then I'm gonna drop down here. Now, there's another collectible for us, but also an ambush. And I'm gonna switch characters for this because giants are not typically great candidates for ambushes. Ambushes have quick enemies where you're outnumbered, and giants aren't favored in those circumstances. So, how about we try a light core Skylander? I think this will help us out by automatically doing like 100 damage to every one of them. Gives us some advantage, I think. Ooh, jeez. If you can, you're probably going to want to try and take this on with some sort of ranged attack, because their harpoons do an unreasonable amount of damage. Okay, I'm going to switch. I thought I'd be able to take them out. These guys are really bonkers hard. They're stupid hard. And because of that, why don't we use our other light core Skylander to make quick work of these guys. See, this is the real nice thing about light core Skylanders. I mean, they sort of catch some flack for being just like more expensive versions of existing characters, but I think this is actually like a really, really useful bonus. Alright, there we go. With those guys taken out, let's switch back to someone. Well, I suppose Falco could use some health, pick up the healing items dropped by those enemies. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the ambush thing in general, to be honest. Like, they're really uninspired. They're very similar to the things I took issue with in the last game, where it was just sort of like, oh, you couldn't come up with anything better than just Dark Skylanders. Great. But like now, instead of just being like a fair fight, like you're always outnumbered, and like they always just like craft the situation such. By the way, we've got the pants hat, which more appropriately might be called the underpants hat. It sort of looks like cartoon underwear that you put on your head. So let's put it on our head.
Yes, that'll do just fine.
That's how you know Falco's a real party animal. Anyway, the ambush thing, it's just always, they always create the situations of the ambushes such that you're at like a huge disadvantage. Not just a disadvantage. Just having 3 guys would be a disadvantage. But having 3 guys with extremely powerful ranged attacks that they fire in multiples, that each one of the 3 of them fires in multiples, that's a pretty big disadvantage. One of the best things I think I could advise you to do in that particular one is to try and do as much damage to them as possible before they split up and spread around the arena. Because if you do that, then like they don't have the chance to be like sniping you from all sides, where it's much harder to avoid the attacks. But that's much easier said than done. If your Skylanders are a higher level than mine, it's easier, but it's still not easy. It's definitely challenging. I had my most successful run at that while I was practicing this level to do this recording today, where somehow I managed very quickly with a fire Skylander, no less, to just like take them out, like almost like took two of them out almost immediately, just with like 2 or 3 attacks. I'm still not entirely sure how I did that, but I think it has more to do with the higher level of the Skylanders that I'm using to run through these levels in practice than I am here. So that does it for all of the collectibles in the water area. And
Commanders of the earth element are stronger in this
I still haven't actually touched. We're gonna give this to someone else. In fact, let's go ahead and give this to Flint, who's still saving up. He hasn't done anything today, but we'll need him for something soon anyway, so might as well switch now. Now, I still haven't actually finished talking about what I meant about the Skystones. Now, even though like it does default to like a recommended set, and that's something like having, you know, a best set of Skystones saved for you. How much do I want this? Is it enough to switch characters? I don't think it is. But so like, you know, if you were able to like manually save a set of Skystones that you liked best, you could set up a strategy. So like, for example, you could set up like a bunch of ones that favor like one side of the board, so that like when your enemy wasn't like attacking you, you would have like a really strong play to make. You know, you could like put yourself in a corner where he's unlikely to be able to steal your stuff, and so he has to make the first move and make himself vulnerable. Because there's definitely some times where some of these like other Skystones players will just sort of like make a move that you can't counter, and then like, what are you supposed to do? Like, put out like a weak Skystone to try and like bait them, and like end up losing because you're just giving away a Skystone space on the board for free? I don't know. It's not super straightforward. Uh-oh. Don't shoot me. The D-Riveters are a real pain. They shoot very quickly. Oh. Bounce pad for the... Oh, I landed on him. I do sometimes forget that the Giants can do that. They can use bounce pads to land on enemies to kill them.
Well, hey there. Looks like we found those cannons, huh? Don't worry, I've activated the supply something or other to dispense these artillery thingamajigs.
Translation. We'll need those explosives to take out the big cannons. Let's go.
No, I got that from what Flynn said. You know, the, thingamajiggers. Yeah, great. So, yeah, personal fun thing I like to do is to attack that bomb until it's ready to blow up, and then have that cutscene so that it explodes while you're talking. Don't know why. I think that's really funny. Alright, so pick up this statue of Kaos. It reveals a teleporter. In a minute, we're going to want that. For now, what we're going to do is try and throw the statue over at that thing. There we go. Blew it up. So, here's the annoying thing about that cannon there. Like, you can use your bomb here to blow up that cannon and other enemies over there. You'll never get over there in time to collect the experience, which is frustrating. But if you don't blow it up, then it's going to ruin your day when you do get over there. So the teleporter we just uncovered takes us to a secret tower where we find Crusher's soul gem. Interesting. So this is actually the thing I've been saving up for, is rock sliding out for Crusher. It lets you maneuver where he's going when he's in boulder form. I think it's the absolute most useful upgrade he has out of all of them possible. So that's why I've been saving up for that so hard. Let's not preview it. We'll show it off once we have the money for it. Then we're actually really far on our way at this point. We could probably almost buy it when we get back to the Dread Yacht. Oh look, another lock puzzle, and this one isn't optional. Alright, so let's begin with a left, then a 5 rights. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And 2 lefts will drop us in that green thing, which drops us on the purple thing, but not before we pick up the pink thing. Very descriptive, don't you think? Anyway, bust that open. Now we can proceed with the level. Is there another? Yeah, there's a bomb we can pick up. So, yeah, there's a bunch of these cannons that pose a real problem. You can just sort of throw the little bomb at them. They blow up just as big as if you throw the big artillery things that only giants can use. So, honestly, it's probably easier to use the bomb where it's close to other cannons. Throw it. That's the sort of thing I was talking about before, where it's kind of hard not to get hit by the cannon. It was like all ready to... Oh no! Well, that went poorly. Just bad timing. I really hate this section of the level, actually. Great. And this is the reason why. Because, like, especially with giants, like, you can just so easily get, like, caught in, like, a situation where you can't possibly not die. It's really frustrating.
Woo! Wow, that was a close one. Yet, somehow, I was able to lead us through.
That's amazing, Flynn. But if you don't mind, I'll be the one to set up the explosives here.
There's a weird cut there. We'll fade to black for no particular reason. Alright, so before we showed off what happens when you just break the wall with the giant, which I think is really funny. Let's show the normal way, though. When you press Y, it blows up the dynamite and blows up the wall. Now here, there's a bunch of enemies waiting for you on the other side. So you gotta be mindful of that. In fact, I think we're gonna switch characters just because Flint took such a beating from that stupid corridor of missiles. I really hate this part of this level. I don't know. There's no one prevailing reason why I really just dislike this level, but like all the little things. There's so many lock puzzles, and you know, they're like half of them are optional, but like, I mean, I'm sure by now that you know I like to collect the things in these levels, so to me, they're not really optional. It's just like a bunch more crap I have to do. And I just don't like the lock puzzles, and I'm sure I've been over that, like, infinitely, so there's no need to touch on that any further. It's like there's this missile bit, there's like a lot of situations where the trolls can sort of lame you and like back you into a corner and hit you with a bunch of explosives. I guess it's just there's like a number of circumstances in this level where you can be just like cornered and like KO'd for dumb reasons. And that's like the number one thing I don't like about Skylanders is like that stuff. Cause like I really like, it's a fun game except for that. Like when I do something dumb and I get my own characters like beaten up, that's one thing. But like when it's just the level is like designed in such a way that you almost can't avoid certain attacks, that stuff is really annoying to me. Oh no, there's more bombs. I hate these stupid grenade guys. They're just everywhere in this level, and they are super annoying. Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, I accomplished my main goal, because Pegasus is now on par in level with everyone else, so I think he's earned a rest for the rest of this level. Who might be a good candidate to bring to the end here? I forget how healed I got our friend Rush before. I'm gonna see if we can use him to help finish off this level. He's a much better candidate for avoiding these cannon shots than any of our giants. I'll say that right now. So yeah, you have to make like 3 passes of this stupid bit with all these cannons. That's really annoying. Oh yeah, I forgot about this. There's like a spot here that like you can't really get past without blowing up at least one of these things. And like that's a really easy place where you can get caught in the line of this cannon's fire, where it does a bunch of damage to you for like no legitimate reason. That's really annoying to me. Like I hate the cheap deaths, and I feel like that's the one area where this game really dropped the ball that Spyro's Adventure didn't do as poorly. Like in Spyro's Adventure it happened, but it seemed accidental. In this game it seems like it was designed to have that happen a lot more, and I really dislike that. And it happens a lot more in later levels, so I may get a little bit more frustrated as we get closer to the end of the game, just fair warning. Let's just check on our shop to show off the new things. Here's a place where you can get one of the heroic challenges. You can also get a charm called Sudsy Soap Charm, which I believe it increases the damage that all of your Skylanders do against troll enemies. There's a fair amount of troll enemies in this game, so if you're having trouble with them, you know, the grenade guys, the D-Riveters, they do a lot of damage. They're trolls, so it might be worth your 5,000. Personally, it's not the sort of thing I would invest in unless I was collecting all the charms. I forget if that's an achievement. It might be, so in that case it might be worth doing. And then you got like a really terrible Skystone, some hats, and some other not so useful items in my opinion, so nothing super important. I mean, there's some things that you might like to collect. I, for example, collected all the heroic challenges on my first save file for this game. Now you could go straight through, blow that up with a giant. The alternative is over here. Push these blocks around, make yourself a little path up to where that bomb is. And I think it's nice to do this because there's some extra treasure over there. And, you know me, I like the treasure. I'm a pirate after all. Still not entirely sure if I finished saying what I was saying about the Skystones, but I think I got most of it out. Basically, I would just like to be able to, like, plan a personal strategy and not just pick, like, the generically best stones.
Looks like you just found the shield thingy. Well done!
Guess those guards aren't going to let us destroy it without a fight.
Yeah, because when you have just the generically best Skystones, sometimes the enemy strategies puts you in a situation where you're like, ah, right, I don't have anything that's particularly good for attacking, like, the right side of the board left over, so it puts you in, like, kind of a crappy position. And, you know, if you were able to plan a more personal strategy... Jeez, how is he following me so accurately? It's really annoying. Interestingly, the trolls are able to damage one another in a way that you probably wouldn't expect. Wow, that was really lame that they just dropped on my head right there. That was cool. And by cool, I mean lame, which is the first thing I said. So, this is like kind of a boss fight, but it's like the lamest kind of a boss fight, where they just like put a bunch of really hard enemies in a situation where you're at a disadvantage. Again, it's sort of like the cheap death thing I don't like. We're gonna try and do this with Just Rush. He's reasonably well suited for this. I took some lame damage there, which was unfortunate, and yeah, I didn't start with full health either, which makes this even more difficult. A bunch of boxes that are really just full of treasure, that's fine. I mean, you could sort of use them for cover, but, I don't know, not great for it. I'm pretty sure anyone who's gonna attack you through the boxes can do enough damage to break the boxes with their attacks. So, like, the really annoying thing about this is that there's just, like, this moving wall of impenetrable shields that surrounds this, like, ranged attacking enemy that does a bunch of damage and attacks really rapidly. So, like, the challenge here is just that this is stupid. Kind of. Like, it's just, like, a really annoying combination of enemies, and, like, that's supposed to be the confrontation at the end of this level. Like, it's really hard... Like, it's really hard to get the shields in a position where you can attack them while the other guy's around, and it's really hard to kill the other guy while there's a bunch of shields around. So, like, you know, without something like a light core Skylander or, like, an arcing attack or something like that, it's really pretty hard to dispose of these guys. You can do it with, like, any Skylander, like, it's possible. It's just stupidly hard, and it's not fun, and it's not, like, a real challenge. It's not like a... oh, like, you have to strategize and whatever. It's just sort of like, oh, so, like, I can only attack these guys this one way, and I can only attack this guy when they're out of the way. I just think it's dumb. I don't know. This was another thing I never liked about this level. I found this part really hard, especially with, like, lower-level Skylanders, and, like, you don't level up a ton before this point in the game. So I didn't find it particularly fun. I find this level kind of frustrating overall.
I think a boom is in order here.
Now that the force field is down, we can finally pay Kaos a little visit.
Yeah, but we probably should try to capture him or something, right?
Womp, womp, womp. So there you go. Let's troll home security. It may not be my actual least favorite level in the game, but it's real close if it's not. There's a couple of other levels I also find really frustrating. I haven't played them in as long, so off the top of my head, I'm not sure which is my least favorite. It's a definite contender. I don't like that level a ton. There's a lot of lock puzzles. There's a lot of lame possibilities for cheap attacks and things like that. And these just not the things that I like out of Skylanders. So I think it's really interesting that this comes right off the heels of a level that I think does exactly what I want out of Skylanders. And then I play this level and it always mellows out my expectations. I remember playing through the game. I got through Wilikin Village the first time. I was like, man, I'm super stoked about this game. And then after this level, I turned the game off for like 2 days. I was just really annoyed. I was like, ugh, more of this junk. I don't like this crap. Anyway, I think I've touched on all the major points for today, so let's see what happens when we leave the troll castle thing.
Did you hear something?
Just Just relax, Glumshanks. This is a memory machine. It will help you remember.
Will the straps help me remember too?
No, the straps are just for me, actually.
Glumshanks, somewhere inside your feeble mind is the secret location to the city of Arcus. And I'm going to help you find it. Let's begin, shall we?
You know what? It's all coming back to me now. I really don't think we need it.
Just relax, Glumshanks. Nope, that's not it. Further back. You fool! Idiot! Moron! Stupid! Well done, Glumshanks. Hey, I don't remember that. That's it! There's the island! According to this, to reach the city, we'll need to build an enormous ladder into the sky and...
Sir, I think we're looking at it upside down.
Eh? As I was saying, all we'll need is a giant drilling machine to tunnel our way down to the buried city. I'll have my minions steal the largest one they can find. Come on, Glumshanks!
Lord Kaos? Master?
Alright, no cutscenes immediately upon returning to the Dread Yacht today. But it's been a while since we've checked out our legendary treasure, so let's change things up a bit. Don't think that, well, Eagle Engine was relatively new. I think we got that at Wilikin Village. I actually have all of the paint jobs already. I didn't remember that working out that way. So currently we have Floral Reef, which I think is really ugly. Stripes Ahoy we got not that long ago. Today we got Fire Sail. So let's put on Fire Sail. Show that off. And then, I forget when we got Propeller Roof, but since we've had Eagle Roof on for a while, let's change that up just so the ship looks different. And then, let's check it out. Fly around the ship. Yeah, Fire Sail is probably the second best one, at least in my opinion. Reminds me kind of like a Hot Wheels car or something, which is cool. I like Hot Wheels. Yeah, you know, the corkscrew wheelhouse thing is kind of cool. I don't know. There's no, like, super great customizing options for the ship, in my opinion. But, you know, that's just my personal preference. Maybe you're a big fan of one of them. You should weigh in the comments which one you like. We've got another thing here on the gun deck, and I'll leave you with that. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, maybe help me out by doing the cool like favorite thing. Next time we'll be paying Kaos a visit, actually. So I hope you're excited for that. That should be a pretty big deal. And in the meantime, we've got ourselves some cannoning to do. Now, this one's of particular note because allegedly this one can give you some sort of achievement. I think it's for like not taking any hits during this minigame. And I think this is the only one that does that. You'll be able to play this game later on. Like, the way this works is, like, after a new level, if you've played all of the existing challenges for the gun turret, then you get to play whatever the newest one is.
Next time, I'll eat your shoes.
And, oh, got a big crown for that. I guess I'm king of the minigame. Anyway, you can try that minigame again later. At the end of the game, it will cycle through various challenges, and, yeah, I guess that's not that hard. If that is, in fact, the one that I believe it is, it's actually not that difficult to do. Anyway, yeah, pretty straightforward task, pretty straightforward level once you get past all the lame attacks and stuff. So I'll see you next time for something very much different. Thanks for watching.